When you hear the word ninja, you probably imagine black clothes, swords, and silent assassins. But what if I told you that almost everything you know about ninjas is wrong? This is the untold story of Japan's secret spies, the shinobi, also known as the ninja. Our story begins in the 15th century, a time when Japan was divided by endless wars. Samurai fought with honor and tradition. But some men realized honor alone couldn't win every battle. These men chose the shadows and became the first ninjas. The mountains of Iga and Koga became home to secret clans who mastered the arts of stealth, deception, and survival. They trained to move silently, to disappear, and to gather information that could change the course of a war. From childhood, ninja apprentices learned to climb walls, swim rivers, and blend into the night. They memorized every sound in the forest, even how crickets stopped singing when danger approached. To them, patience and observation were stronger than any sword. A ninja's weapons were tools of creativity, not just combat. The shuriken, small throwing blades. The kusarigama, a deadly chain and sickle. And of course, the katana. But their greatest weapon was information. Movies turned them into unstoppable killers dressed in black. In truth, most ninjas wore the clothing of peasants, merchants, or monks, anything that let them blend in. They were spies, scouts, and saboteurs, not the fantasy warriors we see on screen. And that famous smoke disappearance? It wasn't magic, it was a distraction, a simple puff of powder that gave the shinobi a few seconds to escape. By the 17th century, Japan found peace under one ruler. The ninja were no longer needed. Their villages faded into legend, but their influence never died. Today, ninja stands as a symbol of discipline, mystery, and silent power. Behind the mask wasn't a killer, but a spy. Most people think Shaolin monks are just peaceful monks, but what they do in secret will shock you. In the misty mountains of China lies a hidden world, the ancient Shaolin Temple, where warriors are forged not by weapons, but by discipline, focus, and spirit. Before the sun rises, the monks begin their day in silence. Meditation trains the mind, before the body. To them, stillness is a power. Hours of training follow, stretching, strikes, balance, pain. Their bodies become tools of precision. Every move is a battle between strength and endurance. The staff, their first and most sacred weapon. It teaches control, patience, and balance. To master it, a monk must first master himself. Hidden from the outside world, Shaolin monks train in secret techniques passed down for centuries, movements that blur the line between human and legend. But true strength doesn't come from muscles. It comes from peace. The Shaolin believe the greatest warrior is one who has conquered his own mind. Even after centuries, the spirit of the Shaolin remains unbroken, a living symbol of discipline, balance, and the endless pursuit of perfection. In ancient Japan, honor was worth more than life itself. For the samurai, surrender wasn't an option. It was shame worse than death. Every samurai lived by a sacred code called Bushido, the way of the warrior. It demanded loyalty, courage, and absolute honor, even in the face of death. To surrender was to disgrace your master, your name, and your family. A true samurai would rather die than live with shame. When defeat was certain, samurai performed seppuku, a ritual suicide to preserve their honor. It was not seen as death, but as redemption. To us, it may seem cruel, but to the samurai, dying with honor meant living forever in the memory of their people. The katana, more than just a sword, it was the soul of the samurai. But do you know the real history behind this legendary blade? Forged in ancient Japan over 1,000 years ago, the katana was born out of a need for both speed and precision on the battlefield. Each blade was folded hundreds of times, removing impurities and creating layers of unmatched strength, a process only master swordsmiths knew. But what made it truly special wasn't its blade, it was the spirit behind it. The samurai believed every katana carried part of their soul. Losing your sword meant losing your honor. Wielding it meant carrying the weight of discipline and death. Centuries later, the katana remains a symbol of discipline, perfection, and power, the blade that ruled Japan. Forget the shuriken. Ninjas used weapons so deadly, they were banned from history itself. These silent assassins created tools far more terrifying than swords, each designed to strike and vanish without a trace. First was the kusarigama, a deadly sickle attached to a chain. One swing could slice, the next could strangle. Then came the tekko kagi, iron claws that could rip through armor and even block blades mid-strike. But the most silent of all, the fukia, a bamboo blowgun that fired poison darts, killing without a sound. These weren't just weapons, they were extensions of the shadow itself. To master them was to master death. This is the subtle history, where the shadows of the past still whisper. Subscribe for more untold stories of ancient power.